Welcome to Ukulele Pros. This is our daily lesson. I'm Terry Carter. Thank you for being here. And if you like this video, please follow, subscribe, and share it so others can know about Ukulele Pros. Today's lesson is about a Johnny Cash style strumming pattern. And I'm just going to do it on one chord today because I want to really go through some of the different variations that are being used. And then later we can switch it to different chords. So let's just jump right into the first chord. So we're going to be using an F chord. And this is fairly simple. I chose F today just to keep it real simple. By the way, I'm going to be using a pick today. I'll show you how to do it without a pick as well, but I always like using a pick for this style, or at least for this lesson. So, let me get this off the screen for now. There we go. All right, so our F chord here is going to be second finger on the fourth string, second fret, open, third, my first finger on the second string, first fret, and then open, first, F. Now my tuning notes here are first string A, second string E, third string C, and fourth string G. Now I have a low G here on my ukulele, which is only going to help me give me a little bit more bass sounds, but it's not required for what we're doing in today's lesson. All right, so let's go to our F chord. Don't forget, we are live, so feel free to drop in, say hi, leave a comment, and even if we're not live, I'd love to hear from you, and I'll check these videos as soon as I can. I see we got a few people. Heather's here. Carol, Errol. All right, so I see a lot of us checking in today. Good. I am in LA, as you can tell by the background, but Johnny decided to join me today. Okay, so we're going to use the F chord for this whole lesson. I'm going to be playing right here where my body of my ukulele and the neck meet. So even if I'm using my first finger or my pick, I'm going to be strumming in the same spot. So this rhythm starts off with, this is what I had on the screen earlier. And this is a basic rhythm that we'll start with, and then we're going to add some 16th notes. So this is just your quarter note downstroke, followed by 2 eighth notes down, up, followed by a quarter note on beat 3, and eighth notes on beat 4. And so it's just down, down, up, down, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Now if I use my finger, it's the pick has a little bit more of a bite to it. Now this rhythm is fine except for the fact that when you do a Johnny Cash style picking, they're doing it, it's like double time. So instead of using quarter notes and 16th notes, what they do is they switch it up to eighth notes and 16th notes. Now the idea is the same. Downstroke on beat 1, 1 E, and then on the and of 1 you're going to go down again, and then on the of 1 you're going to go up. So it's just still 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So it's the same strum pattern as what I just showed you, down, down, up, down, down, up. But what happens is because the strumming is a lot faster, you don't have to have as many measures. And so if we do it at tempo, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget that if you are interested in any of this content or want to check out any of the premium lessons, to jump on over to ukulellepros.com and check out all the great stuff I have up there. All right, back to our lesson here. So this is our basic strum pattern. Let's do this nice and slow, but I want to count. I want to make sure you're counting 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So it's down, 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 4 E, 1 E and 1 E and 2 E. Okay, so hopefully that's not overly difficult. It's just the counting. If you're not used to counting 16th notes, that might be something you need to get used to doing. Especially when we go faster. All right, what do I want to do next? Next, what I want to do is, instead of doing a full strum on 1, 2, 3, and 4, so instead of going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, instead of using all 4 of the strings, I want to just hit the 4th string. Now in my case, because I have a low G, it's going to sound a little bit bassier than yours, but it's still not a bad way to just get into this style. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit bass. I'm just going to hit the 4th string. This is an A note, so it's not actually the F note, but that's okay. So bass note, down, up, bass note, down, up, bass note. And the counting is just 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now if I speed it up, it starts sounding pretty cool. Notice it's a little bit more driving. And what this is replicating is a train beat. So a lot of times the drummer will be hitting some brushes and making it sound like a train, and then the guitar is just kind of duplicating that particular sound. All right. Now, we got one more step that I want to show you today to help with this rhythm, which is a little bit more complicated now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw this up on the screen here. And if you've noticed, what I've done is on the and of each beat, so 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, you see an X. And that X stands for a mute. And on ukulele or guitar or whatever instrument you're playing, especially the string instruments, a mute would be this sound. Okay? So let me just play it fast so you hear it sound. Pretty cool, huh? And that mute is mimicking also the snare drum there, right? It's very percussive. So what I'm doing for this one, this is a side of my palm mute. It's called a mute, palm mute, but what I'm doing here is actually using the side of my palm. And it's just literally hitting the strings, all the strings, covers all the strings. You can see that. Just literally hits all the strings. Then followed by a pick sound or pick motion. Palm, pick, palm, pick, palm, pick. So this part hits the strings, I mean, it's like a microsecond before you strum. Palm, pick, palm, pick, palm. And as I go faster, you really don't even notice. But notice if my pick hits before my palm, I get this sound. No, I don't want that sound. I want that muted sound. See, it doesn't even matter if I'm holding a chord here. You can still get the mute whether I'm holding a chord or not. It's still the same sound. Well, a slightly different sound, but it's still the same concept. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go bass, mute, up, bass, mute, up. So it's down, I'm hitting the fourth string only, I'm muting the whole chord, and then on the upstroke, I'm releasing the mute. So bass, mute, up, bass, mute, up, bass, mute, up, bass. And the way you count it is the same thing. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Speed it up. Back down, so start it off slow. 1 E and 2 E and 3 and then when you get comfortable with that and you can play that perfectly for a while, then you want to gradually increase the speed. So practicing with the metronome is a great idea on all this stuff, and just play with, set it to maybe 40 to start with, and then bump it up by 5 beats per measure every so often, and until you get comfortable with it. Okay, so let's try it. Let's try it fast, see if you can hang with me. 2, on. If you want to use your finger, it's the same deal. Still hitting the bass note, mute, downstroke, and upstroke. Sounds cool. I think the pick sounds. Sounds a little bit crisper and a little bit more precise for this particular one. All right, so let's just jam a little bit more. 1, 2. Now that's just our first pattern. Then we'll apply it to changing chords, but for today's lesson, I really want you just to focus on locking this rhythm in, getting it precise, and being able to repeat it over and over again. Okay, that's going to do it for our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed that Johnny Cash style strum pattern, and we'll see you in the next lesson.